Hey guys, welcome back to the DeeTimeLove show, and today we've got a very interesting video. The impact of the micro brand watches for micro brands. What sort of impact are they having in the watch community? Are they worth looking at, and why you should consider certain watch brands? Now look, I want to be as transparent as I can about this, because when I first started my YouTube channel, I tended to stay away from micro brands, and that was because I had no general experience in any kind of micro brands. I was predominantly probably focusing on Rolex, Tudor, Omega, Seiko, Citizen, and various other well-known brands that had a bit of heritage, prestige, and real watch manufacturing background behind them. But as the channel's gone along, I've sort of broadened my horizon. I've been open to new things, and I've experienced new watch brands, and it's really part of the watch hobby. And I'll be very honest with you, when it comes to watch collecting, normally what I advise to people when you're getting into the hobby, at the beginning, when you want to build a foundation of a collection, look at maybe some of the more traditional watch brands, so you have a strong foundation in your collection. And then when you're looking to broaden and get into different watches, and you like a certain look of a watch, but that budget doesn't allow you to purchase that watch that you desire, then I think micro brands are the way to go, because especially the value in money that you get, what you lack in maybe pedigree and history, they make up in specification wise and great bang per buck, and you get in a watch that you really like the look of. So it doesn't really matter what anybody thinks of it. It's really what that watch says to you and how it makes you feel. But before I go into more details about some of the watches I've got here on display, let's do a quick wristwatch check. And today I'm sporting the Tudor Chrono Blue Monte Carlo, and this is an absolute keeper and one of my favorite, if not my favorite watch in my collection. But anyway, as you can see below there, I've got a number of watches, and I've also got my Tudor Heritage Black Bay. Now, the Tudor Heritage Black Bay is one of the favorites within the watch community, especially in the dive watch world. And you know, the Tudor is, you know, very much Rolex as such, at a slightly more affordable price point. But the Tudor product range now really do complement the Rolex lineup as such. So what I've noticed is that someone will have a Rolex Submariner or a Rolex Daytona, and yet they'll have a Tudor Black Bay in their collection because it's something a little bit more adventurous. Tudor are a lot more adventurous than Rolex in terms of design. They're not as conservative, I have to say. And just this lovely colour, the burgundy red and the patina themed second hand, hour hand, minute hand, the indices is not something necessarily that you'd get with a Rolex product. The Tudor is a more laid back approach. However, if you're in the market, even for a Tudor Heritage Black Bay, it's not a cheap watch by any means. You're looking at $2,500 here in the UK, which is at a reasonable expensive price. If you're someone young, you know, you've got your first job, you're going to find it hard to buy a watch like this. So there are some good alternatives out there, you know, as well. So first of all, I had to say what I did like most recently that I've reviewed is the Spinnaker Croft. Very cool watch. It's not, you know, a Tudor Black Bay homage or anything like that. It has got its own thing going for it, I have to say. But it's a watch that is a good alternative in my eyes, you know, with that patina look. It's got its own style, you know, but you can see that it's taken some sort of inspiration from the Tudor as such, you can say, and they've made their own watch from it. But look at that fume dial, very cool indeed. But it's another alternative, you know. I believe this watch, you know, the prices do vary online, but I think, you know, if you went to Spinnaker Direct, it's about $410. However, if you look around, you know, obviously I've got a promo code, I'll leave that below. You can get up to 20% discount, but if you get it on the leather strap, you're looking at anything from 250 to 310 bucks, for example, as well. On the bracelet is a little bit more expensive, but a very cool watch to own. I think Spinnaker, the brand, is going to grow. It doesn't have the pedigree, you know, or the background and the prestige as some of the other affordable watch brands like Seiko, for example, or, you know, Citizen, you know, in some aspects as well. However, they are a lot more adventurous in the design, and you're getting something that, if you're looking for something of that nature, of that aesthetic, it's definitely something you've got to consider. But then I've got the Pantour watches. Now, I don't want to talk about other micro brands. Pantour, for me, you know, what they produce, this is a 1,000 meter water resistant watch. Very cool watch indeed. It beats at 28,800 beats per hour. And for me, this is probably the best watch you can get. A 1,000 meter water resistant watch for under the 1,000 buck mark. You know, under the £1,000 mark. What can I say? It's like you're paying for every meter, and it's so solid, so robust. Automatic helium escape valve. A real watch, spec wise, if you walk into the room, you can say, look, my watch is 1,000 meters water resistant. What can I say? Very cool watch indeed. And they've got quite a few good watches in their collection. You know, you've got the Pantour Turtle, Sea Turtle, very cool again. This watch is, I believe, 500 meters water resistant. You know, sapphire crystal, just like the Pantour Seahorse automatic helium escape valve. Very cool indeed. And they've also got the Pantour Sea Lion, yet again, same sort of spec, but a 300 meters water resistant watch, automatic helium escape valve, sapphire crystal, really good spec. So what I've noticed about a lot of the micro brands, they have to go the extra mile, because what they lack in brand recognition and status as such, they have to make up with other details. And a lot of the time you find that the micro brands have a very good spec on paper. Now, if you look at the spec of, you know, and I would never judge a watch on specs, because that's not how the watch world works. But I'll put it to you like this: the Pantour is 1,000 meters water resistant. The Tudor is 200 meters water resistant. However, the Tudor has cues back to the early Rolex Submariner, you know, and that's what they were during that period of time, and that look and vibe of the Tudor Heritage Black Bay is based on that. But what can I say? You know, spec-wise, Pantour, pedigree, prestige, status is what you pay for, but most definitely the Tudor, the quality, the execution is cut above any of the micro brands I've experienced so far. But obviously you're paying a lot more money for that experience. So that's what you pay for. You pay for the experience of owning a luxury timepiece, cutting edge design, aesthetics. The execution is all there with the Tudor, and it's very unfair comparison. But if you were just comparing them on a, you know, piece of paper spec wise, you would say the Pantour is a better watch. But having owned both watches, you know, you cannot compare the Pantour with the Tudor. There is no comparison in my mind. So when a lot of these micro brands say, you know, they are great alternatives, what they're really saying is they're an alternative solution at a certain price point, that you can get a certain look or spec in a watch at a much lower price point. You know, if you imagine, if you know, comparing this to maybe a Sea Dweller, you know, like my James Cameron edition, same sort of spec, but, you know, you're looking at £11,000 for the Sea Dweller in 2019, and you're looking at £1,000 for the Pantour Seahorse with a same Stormwiller depth rating. And there you go, the execution, the quality, the execution of the Rolex, you cannot compare with these micro brands. They just don't have the technology or the watchmakers to compete, but you're paying a much lower price point. So what you're getting, spec wise, quality wise, for the price that you're paying, is great bang per buck. So my analogy, my final analysis of this is buy watches with, you know, the heritage, the background, a foundation of your collection. Once you've got the timepieces that you desire and you've got that foundation in your collection, then branch out to other watch brands. In my opinion, it's just my opinion, does not mean it's politically correct, but I believe is buy the watches, play it safe at the beginning. Once you've got the watches that you desire, then you can mess about with other watch brands and buy whatever your heart desires, because you're not buying it for anyone else, you're buying it for yourself. If you love the watch, buy it, enjoy it. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you love the content. Don't forget to click that little bell so you don't miss any of my content, and I'll see you in the next video.